Yeah, how you doing though, man?
All good. How's everything?
All good as well. Like I was saying, just preparing for this launch next week. Pretty
Yeah.
much got everything there. I just need to, when you're at that final stage where you need to like go through all the sounds properly, test everything,
Mm-hmm.
and sort of like time stretch things, just like little bits just to finalize the kit. But the art's done, all the sounds are there. I just need to filter out the ones that probably aren't as usable as the others, and then just get like
Nice.
a solid kit. But yeah,
Yeah.
I should be set to launch it next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
What, do you ever have them weeks where everything just comes in at the same time? Like you'll go through
Yeah.
a few weeks of just not having like a sponsor to do or something like that, and then all of a sudden it's like you've got a launch coming, and then the sponsors start hitting you up, but you can't do them because you've got the launch to focus on. So I'm trying to balance both and just still squeeze them in.
So it's one of those weeks for you, just tons going on.
Yeah, I've had that for like the last 2 weeks. This will be like the last week of it. I find this
Mm-hmm.
with every launch for some reason. Like whenever it comes up to a launch, my mind's just like working overtime because I'm just preparing everything for it. But I kind of need it. When you set yourself deadlines, so then it comes to those deadlines, it's crazy how much work you can get done when you've got
Yeah,
a
you just
deadline.
start working under pressure, just go in.
Yeah. So you'll go through like a period of time where you don't feel like you're working that hard, and then all of a sudden the deadline comes up and it's go go go. But
Yeah,
it's
I
kind of
like those
needed.
weeks
That
though.
that's why
I
I
like
think
feeling
that's why I
busy.
like dropping these products so frequently. Huh?
Mm-hmm. No, I was just saying I like
Yeah.
those kind of
Same
weeks
as well. You feel
when
way
it's
more
busy.
productive.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah,
This
you
week
feel
has
a lot more
been
productive, don't you?
this week's been a little bit busy for me. I've been I'm doing like a little house party tomorrow, and then
Oh,
filming
sick.
me DJ. So just trying to put that together, kind of last minute. So I
A house
just,
party. Like what? So you're DJing. Who are you inviting? Have you still got friends over there?
yeah, just random people coming through, random friends and
Mm.
stuff like that. But it's
Sick.
mainly to film for YouTube because I've been
Ah,
wanting to
okay.
do this for a while, but
Yeah.
I just kept on things coming up, putting it off. But I think now is the time.
Mm. That'll be sick. How many
Yeah.
people do you think are coming?
Mm,
We're not sure yet.
That I'm not 100% sure. It could be 15, it could be 30. Not
Right.
100% though.
That'll be sick though. Is it gonna be a messy one then? Like a
Is it
late
going to be
one?
what?
A messy one?
Nah, because I already just tested the speakers and it's crazy loud. The
Is
walls are
it?
super thin, so I don't really want to go too loud and piss off the neighbors.
Yeah, I hear that. But it's tomorrow, isn't it? At least it's a Saturday, and it's not like you do it all the time.
Yeah, literally. It's just going to
It's
be
just a
one
one-off.
time, a one off. And then hopefully next time, because I'd love to turn it into a series and just do it in different locations instead.
Yeah, yeah, that would be sick. So where you living, is it a big block of flats, or is it a smaller block, just a few of you there?
Nah, it's like a condo building, but
Okay.
there's probably it's really hard to say, but I was gonna say my door number. I can't say that. But if looking at my door number, then there probably is at least like 300 people in here, 300 apartments.
Oh, okay. All right, so yeah,
So
decent
it's
size.
quite big.
I was just thinking then, yeah, you'll still get a lot of people hearing the noise.
Yeah, if you're like next door, both sides, downstairs, upstairs, you probably hear me.
Is it? They might like it. They might be knocking on, trying to join.
I mean, they're more than welcome to come through.
Yeah, when are you gonna post this video then?
Mm, that I'm not 100% sure. Just when it's ready.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post it on
Is
my
it
main channel, but
okay?
I'm not expecting anything from it because it's just so left. It's
Are
not
you
like
gonna do
any of my
anything
other
like?
content.
Are you gonna film yourself making any of the music and then playing it later on at the party?
Um, no, I'm just gonna post the set to be honest with you.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh, right. Okay,
Just
I
a
got you.
straight DJ set.
It's a different type of content, but yeah, you never know, man.
We'll just see what happens at this point.
Some of those sets go crazy on YouTube.
Yeah,
Like you'll put one
100%.
on one time, if you can't be bothered like creating a playlist or anything, you'll just type in a DJ set or something, and then just run with that.
Yeah, it's
But
because
they
they got
get
so much
crazy
replay
views.
value.
Yeah, you can just leave it on. You don't have to watch it
Hmm.
or anything. It's just on in the background. So the watch time must be crazy for those.
Yeah. The only thing is though, I'm guessing most of them can't even be monetized if they're playing other people's music.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Yeah, you must get about 30 copyright claims just in
Yeah,
that one
bro.
video.
When you
I
go
always
live,
wondered
do
how
you get the
those
same
channels
thing?
work. Yeah, all the time, man. Even just listening to people's beats, because people sample a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, true.
So like you'll do beat reviews, but then you just get claims like straight away.
Hmm.
Is that what you've got? Or do you play music as well when you're streaming? Like in the
I play
background?
people's music, what they send me, but it's the same thing.
Right.
There's always
The
like tons
samples.
and tons of it, tons and tons of copyright claims.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't had a strike, touch wood. I don't really
Same.
know how they differentiate them. Like, how do they define whether you're gonna get a claim or a strike?
That's a good question.
Because I know like people have said that they've had a strike before for playing
Hmm.
like sampled music. So I don't know if it's just down to whoever owns the copyright. Because you'd think that like if you're putting music out there, you just want the claim so that you can just monetize the other people's videos. Like if someone was using your music, you won't want to strike the channel. You just want to claim it because then you're collecting the money from that
Yeah.
video, aren't you? So I've never really understood why some people get a full-on strike for it. It seems a bit crazy.
I feel like they need to sort out the claim thing as well because
Mm-hmm.
literally you use, let's say, 15 seconds. They get to claim the revenue of the whole video, which is a bit crazy.
Yeah, I know it doesn't make any sense, does it? The whole like content ID system has got so many flaws, man. Because even things like, say for example, you use a loop on Splice or you have your own loops out there. There's so many different people like
Yeah.
using these loops, and what you'll find is, so if someone, it's happened to me like loads of times where someone's bought a beat from my beat channel, and in the BeatStars contract it says that you're not allowed to use content ID systems, but no one reads the contract, so they pay for a lease and then they upload the beat to DistroKid, distribute it everywhere. Then they tick the box for content ID,
Mhm.
and then that scans through all the videos and starts claiming them. So it'll claim like my beat channel where they bought the beat, and then you have to go through like an appeal process. But then if someone else also leases that beat and they've released a song, whoever's claimed content ID will also claim their song because they're using the
Yeah.
same beat. So then you have people reaching out to you like, why is this getting claimed? It's like, it's not me. It's just like, all it takes is one person to just either be stupid and like not care, or they just don't know the process and they just thought they were doing the right thing. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
need to claim this. Because not everyone knows how that system works, but it's so flawed. Like, it causes
Yeah.
so many errors.
It needs updating because it's been like this for years and years.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think it's ever been fixed.
And they say it's supposed to like protect the creators, but it doesn't, man. It just complicates things.
Yeah.
Because
It only
they
benefits
just,
the first person who claims or
yeah,
whoever you sampled, which I get, but at the same time, like I said, it's a bit unfair to claim someone's whole video. Let's say you've
yeah,
made a piece of content that is 30 minutes long, but you used a small segment. Surely there should be a way where you can calculate, okay, they get a percentage. Maybe
hmm,
the 15-second clip lasted 15 seconds out of 20, out of 30 minutes. How can we calculate that?
yeah. That would make way more sense.
Yeah.
It just seems a bit fair because, like, yeah, I get it. Like you said, you're using someone's work, but still, if it's just for a small second, small like 10 seconds in the video,
Or
it
at
does
least
seem
just
crazy.
50% or something, not the whole thing.
Yeah, even 50% seems high just for
Yeah.
using like a segment of someone's work. Because we aren't getting 50% for producing a whole track.
Mm.
Maybe on the publishing side sometimes, but definitely not on like the master side. We're not getting 50% most of the time. So just for using someone's work in a video, yeah, it's wild. Maybe they will release something new The technology must be there. Like, I'm
Yeah,
sure there's AI that can figure that out.
definitely. I'm sure there's some company in the background that is working on this somehow. Because I feel like
Yeah.
even I've been hearing, like when you play music in restaurants, you're meant to have a license,
Mhm. Yeah, like PRS license.
but not everywhere has it. Some people get away
Yeah.
with it, but sorry, apparently there's going to be like some sort of AI which can detect what was played and automatically logs it. Same thing
Oh,
with
really?
like if you're DJing out and you're playing other people's music, which is normal,
Mhm.
but obviously like other DJs don't really get paid from that. But I've heard like there's technology where there's AI that's just going to scan what's getting played, upload it to the database, and somehow try and
Mm.
calculate it.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I always kind of wondered how they were collecting it because people have to pay for a PRS license to play music in their restaurants, cafes, or anything like that.
Hmm.
And obviously, you have to pay to join the PRS, but it's only a one-off fee. So if you have your music registered with the PRS, you should be getting paid for your music being played in these venues. But I wasn't sure how they actually
How do they even
knew what
track that
songs
though?
were being played. Yeah, exactly. Like maybe if it's yeah, I don't know what happens when you pay for a license. I don't know if they give you something to like some software to install or if they just know it from your IP address and if you're using a streaming platform like Spotify. I'm not sure. I've never looked into like how it works on the back end, but I thought there was a system in place. Or maybe they just put all the revenue that they get from the licenses and then it sort of goes into a pool and then the people getting like the most streams, for example, will probably take like the biggest cut from it and then maybe it trickles down the line. But I'm not sure. You'd think it would be like one of those two.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think
Streaming is complicated, man. Like, of
yeah.
course you can make tons of money from it, but there's always like these gaps where
Mm,
things are not. Even with PRS, when you think about it, you as the producer, if someone doesn't put your name on, you're kind of screwed until you put your
yeah.
name on.
Yeah.
Like there just
That
needs to
happens
be a
all the
way
time.
where I don't know. It's just an easier, frictionless way, you know?
Yeah, so that everyone gets paid.
Hmm.
I think like whatever system's in place, it's just gonna be all it takes is like one person to just not do their job properly. Like everyone can all sign contracts, do everything, but then one person can upload the song and if he just doesn't credit us and then it just messes up the whole thing.
Yeah,
And all that is so simple to actually credit a producer, especially if you're just using something like DistroKid. You literally just click on the credits and then just add them as a producer. Like it takes 2 seconds. So
exactly.
it's annoying when you go to an album on Spotify
And
and you're
there's
like, oh,
just
I'm gonna
nothing.
produce this, and it's just blank. It's like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
Yeah, that should
Yeah,
not be
it's crazy.
happening in 2024 at all.
No,
Especially
no,
on big
exactly.
albums as well.
Yeah, like they should know if it's labels releasing it or whoever's doing the upload. Like they should just know like this is part of the process, right? Surely they've got a checklist like upload the song, schedule it, credit whoever's involved. Like there must be a process. I wonder as well, with the content ID thing. I wonder if YouTube have some sort of agreement with the labels because it always seems to be like the most powerful companies getting the most benefits. So if, for example, people are using songs that are registered like with a label, then obviously they just it's in their interest to just collect as much money as possible. So they're
Yeah.
not really worrying about like everyone else. It's like they'll be the ones that are collecting the most revenue. So I wonder if they have some sort of agreement with YouTube. Because when YouTube set that up, that whole content ID system, they must have spoken to labels to like figure out what's going to be the best way for them. I don't think they would have just like made up the system themselves. They would have had information. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I
And
don't know.
also, like back in the day, early YouTube, it used to be a good way for you to get your music out there. So, for example, as a music producer, you're making beats and stuff, and you send it to a vlogger who's daily vlogging, and you give them your
Mm,
beats, and they'll use it in the
yeah,
background and just credit you in the description.
the
That'd be a good way
description.
to get your music out there. Used to be a guy, I don't know if you remember this guy. His name was Lakey Inspired. He used to make like lo-fi beats. and he used to do it a lot. You'd hear
Maybe.
his music in loads of content creators, and that's how he kind of grew his Spotify and his SoundCloud. But I guess yeah, once that content ID kicks in, it kind of screws everyone. And then, but I mean, I guess that's where they come up with epidemic sounds and these royalty-free musics to use in the background now. But then
Yeah.
I don't know like how that works. Maybe the producers who produce on Epidemic get good payment, or maybe not.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I bet it's nothing like. I bet it's not the same type of like payment and exposure you'd get from people using your tracks and crediting you.
Hmm.
Because maybe they're just doing like buyouts, for example. Like, I'll just pay you this one-off fee for that beat to have in my catalog, and then anyone can use it royalty free. I'm not sure. I've never looked into those systems to see how they work.
Yeah.
Did you used to try that? Did you used to send your music to vloggers and stuff?
Like maybe the very, very first year of making beats.
Yeah.
And I feel like it did get used in a few people's videos and they would just credit
Mm.
me. But I don't know what the impact was because it wasn't enough, you know? It wasn't a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, of
But
course.
it,
So I
it was
guess
a
you.
way to just, people were open to it back then. Like, oh yeah, send me some music. Let me just whack it in the vlog. It was a thing.
Yeah. People are probably scared now because, like you said, you can spend weeks on one video and then the whole
Hmm.
thing just gets lost. The whole revenue just gets lost for using one music track. So people will play it safe now.
Yeah. And I guess if you're a YouTuber that's getting like 500k views, a million views, that's a lot of good advertising or AdSense. You don't really want to lose that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. How often have you been releasing music on Spotify?
Oh man, not consistently at all. But that's because so I dropped my EP earlier this year, which was more
Yeah.
just the house songs that I made last year for the festival, and I was just
Right.
gonna leave it at that. I just wanted to put it out, but this year has been more about defining my sound, figuring out what kind
Yeah.
of music I actually want to make, because it's definitely not gonna be that house kind of style.
Okay.
And it's now that I'm like stacking up on tracks that I'm like, okay, what's the plan? Let's
Mm.
start releasing because I feel like building up a catalog is so useful, you know? It's such a good it might not
Yeah.
you might not, make a lot of money in the beginning, but if you have 10 years of catalog, that's really valuable if you're getting good streams on that.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think that's why I was asking because I'm not. I don't have like a crazy plan for it. I'm not like
Hmm.
mad consistent with it. But sometimes, like, say if maybe like I was trying to do it like every week, sometimes every 2 weeks, sometimes it's a bit more. But I will release like maybe my favorite beat from that past 2 weeks on Spotify, and you don't think anything of it at the time. And they're not getting like crazy streams, but sometimes you'll just get like a random beat that just gets added to like a few different playlists. And
Yeah.
not like the major Spotify playlists, but just people who curate playlists, where it'll be like drill instrumentals and then my beats have randomly like ended up on them. And then you'll get some that hit over like 100k streams. And
Yeah.
once you've got like loads of tracks that are hitting those type of numbers, like it does add up. Like I don't
Yeah.
even touch the money in my DistroKid because I just leave that as like something else. Maybe I'll use that to work on a project in the future or something. But when I check in there, it's like there's actually some alright money. Like not enough to live off, just off streaming, obviously, but it's just a nice like number there in case I ever need
Yeah.
it or in case I wanted to like invest in a project further down the line. And that's just from uploading beats just to Spotify and not even doing any like pushing for it. Like I don't really
Exactly.
promote my Spotify. I don't really do anything. It's just I keep putting music out there,
Hmm.
and sometimes people hear it. Sometimes they add it to the playlist. Like there was one beat that did over 1 million streams just on
Wow.
a beat, and then 1 million streams.
And
There's
that's
just like
that's good because you get 100%, right?
yeah, well this beat in particular was me and one other producer, and we had it split 50-50. But for
Hmm.
1 million streams, we got like it's around about $3,000, so half that because it's 50-50. So
That's
obviously it
nice.
seems
And
like it's hard to get 1 million streams, but once you've got a full catalog out there, you can those like all those tracks together will soon get to 1 million.
yeah, and I think the more consistent you are, the the bigger the snowball effect will be if you just
Yeah.
like continue to keep dropping tracks and tracks. You look back after 5 years, you've dropped over 100 tracks
Mhm.
or even 50, and you have four of them that hit a milli, and then the rest are just trickling in. Like that could be good revenue. Just something on the
Definitely.
side, you know.
Yeah, of course.
But
It's kind of
what
like
what I was just gonna say,
go on.
what interests me as well. I don't know if you've ever seen this independent artist called Nick D on TikTok or
Yeah,
YouTube,
I've watched his
but
stuff.
he talks about developing your catalog and building it to sell. So if you're getting like
Mm.
a certain amount of streams every single month, and that's making you X revenue, you could potentially sell that as like a big asset, and then continue to keep growing your catalog.
Yeah, that's interesting actually. I think La Russell does that as well. He'll do stuff like he basically brings on investors, I think, so people can say, right, I've got this budget, I want to invest. Like, I don't know like how he'll do it in the back end. I haven't like looked into it, but basically he'll have someone do that, like invest in a song, and then they'll work out splits. So for example, I'm just throwing numbers out there. Someone gives him 5k, then he's like, okay, 5k, I'll give you 50% of this song or these two songs or whatever it is, however he works it. Because then it's obviously you're kind of placing a bet, but then if you're doing it with someone on that level who you know is just going to be like crazy consistent and sort of
Yeah,
knows the game and you really believe in them, then it could be worth it. It's
yeah,
just another type of investment, really, isn't it?
yeah.
And
Literally,
especially if
I
you're a
think he
super fan,
says.
and not
I
super fan.
think.
Say if you're a super fan and it's like you really like this guy, then why not have like a portion of his catalog and you feel like you're really part of his music then?
Yeah, I think I've heard him say as well. He treats his songs like real estate. He puts a
Mm,
song out, and every month is just collecting rent money from the streams.
yeah,
Basically, it's just completely passive, and I'm sure, yeah, of course, most songs don't really get a lot of shine. They might just hit like not that many streams, but you just never know. Like a song could just pop off
yeah,
at any given time.
definitely.
But also, that as he keeps on doing that, the more you just keep releasing, yeah, and the more you keep growing, your baseline just gets bigger and bigger. So maybe the first times
Hmm.
you release, first day you're only gonna hit 200 streams. But then after 2 years, every time you release, you got enough fans that 10,000 on first day minimum. Then it'll keep going until like,
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, the sky's the limit. Really, as you get bigger and
yeah,
bigger, I'm sure
100%.
like it's gonna take a lot more to get to 500 million streams. Yeah, it's not really like an organic thing. You probably have to pay for a lot of promotion and marketing and stuff. But like, I think it's possible for everyone to aspire to get to the milli mark at least.
Yeah, I think so, for sure. We've seen it happen like a number of times.
Yeah,
Uh, People have different opinions on how they should release music. Like some people are more protective and they're like, nah, I only want to release like my best work, and it's maybe going to be like one track every 3 months. Other people think like that. Nick, he's more in the mindset of just keep pushing music out there. I think he releases like every week or something, doesn't he? So he's more
very
about like
often.
quantity and then some of it sticking.
Hmm.
So I guess like both options have worked for certain people,
Yeah,
but
I don't think
personally, I
there's
feel like
a
I'm
wrong
more
or
in the
right.
mindset of yeah, 100%. But I do think as a new like upcoming artist or producer, I almost don't think you have the luxury of just putting out one piece of work every few months, unless it's something crazy, unless it's like just something like no one's heard before.
But
I
even
know
that
it's
is
like hard to
tough,
even
man.
yeah,
That
exactly, because
the
that's so
chances of
subjective
that,
too.
exactly.
Hmm.
Who knows?
Yeah,
I guess the only way that can work is if you're gonna keep on pushing out promotion, like loads of
yeah,
content on that same song, and just drag it out as long as possible, so it doesn't like
yeah.
technically die off.
And I've seen that work as well, because people will push like a certain song on TikTok for months before they release it, but they're
Hmm.
still making that content, so they're still putting the stuff out there. But like that, I'd say that's fine. Like if you don't want to release it and you're just trying to build up as much hype as possible, but then you have to do the social media work. But if you're not willing to do that much, then just keep pushing the music out, and then some of it might hit. And even if you're pushing loads of music out, you still have to do the content side as well, because
Yeah,
people still have to find it.
definitely. So is that something that you want to get more into, being consistent on Spotify?
Um, maybe, maybe I would like at some point to release more work with artists. I think where we're kind of just going in 50-50, and it's like, right, let's make a song together, let's put it out independently.
Yeah,
If we're gonna do some marketing, we'll both cover that. Sort of like what I did with Geo. Like we put that album out, we both paid for everything, and then we just split it 50-50. I'd probably rather do stuff like that because you just feel way more involved. And it could just be like don't even have to be on a project basis. You know, like all the sessions we've done with artists. Like say for example, we linked up with Lats to be like, right, let's just create something together, put it out together as a single, and then just keep pushing singles out like that, really.
yeah, yeah.
I think that
I,
would be
I
interesting to
was
do.
thinking about that before. I think that's a good move. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, just in general, honestly, we should just be putting out more music. That's how I feel.
Yeah. So I just don't always like
There's just
leaving
no
it to
harm. I
the
mean,
artist.
imagine like how many beats and stuff we've made over the past, and like, I don't know about you, but so many people ask me like, oh, where can I find this beat? Where can I find this beat?
Mm,
If I just put it out, then it could have just got some streams. I'm not really expecting
yeah.
it to get a milli, but like couple thousand streams, but don't know. So something I have been playing around with though is releasing a lot on SoundCloud,
I'll have you.
and especially in like the underground techno world, I guess you could say, SoundCloud is actually the place to be. Like these guys, none of them really have massive followings on social media or YouTube or even Spotify. Like, you go to their
Yeah.
SoundCloud page and their SoundCloud is popping, and that's where people
Mm.
find their music. And not even just like underground techno, but I see it for like underground artists as well, like that Yeet kind of sound and those
Oh
kind of
yeah, yeah.
artists. And you can get paid from SoundCloud too, which is nice.
How do you monetize your music on SoundCloud? I've never actually,
They
I haven't used SoundCloud in a long time.
they got it in the back end. You can just turn on
Okay.
the monetization and get paid.
Right.
I can't remember what the number is. Maybe it's like 10K for every million, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Mm. If it is, then that's way better than normal streaming.
But I don't know what I know you can like get good discoverability on SoundCloud if the music's good. Like SoundCloud will push it out. But
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's like Spotify in terms of playlists and stuff like that. SoundCloud is more like feels more like a social media, comments and reposting and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't like I used SoundCloud years ago, but I just
Hmm.
haven't tapped into it in a long time. But I have been hearing more people speak about it recently.
Yeah.
People say, yeah, like you said, especially for like the EDM scene and then the underground scene. I know like a few producers that use it as well. I think like Ghosty was putting a lot of beats on there.
Hmm.
So there's definitely a community there. But I just haven't
And
tapped into it yet, so I don't know how it works.
what's cool about it as well, it feels a little bit less official because on Spotify,
Mm,
once you drop a single, it feels like, that's my single,
yeah.
like I'm dropping this. But on SoundCloud, it's let me just throw out this idea that I've been kind of sitting on, see what the
Sort of
vibe
like the
is of
TikTok for
people.
content, isn't it? I feel
Yeah,
like that with
kind of in a
TikTok where you
way.
can just throw stuff out and see.
It feels a lot less pressure.
Yeah, that's interesting. I might have to look into it.
Yeah. What do you
Because
think
I know what you
about?
mean with Spotify. It feels a bit more official, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
And
feels
then
like,
it's like, it's there for everyone to see. So it's almost a
yeah,
bit nervous where it's like, oh man, are people going to judge me on this work? This isn't even my best work.
because also, what do you think about numbers being shown on Spotify? Because you see people's monthly listeners and how many streams it has. I feel like it definitely affects
Mm,
people's perspective on songs. Do you think
I think so.
Spotify should potentially get rid of it?
That's an interesting one. Because I do like to see the numbers myself when I go on
Yeah.
someone's page and I'll be like, oh shit, that's done 10 million, that's sick. But I also know that can give you like a judgment kind of, if you go on someone's profile and it's like, oh, I guess it's the same as like having Instagram followers. Because in some ways, it can be a good indication of how hard they're working as well. Because if you're trying to work with an artist, for example, like say someone hits you up in the DMs and it's like, oh bro, I'm trying to work, and then you go on the profile and it's like 50 followers, not much there, then it's like, this guy's not really serious. So maybe that's similar to Spotify. Like if you go on his Spotify profile and you can see he's releasing consistently, he's getting streams, he's got like even just like 20,000 monthly listeners, you might be like, you know what, this guy's actually doing his thing. Let me he might be worth working with. So I think it's good in that sense. But I know what you mean, where you could go on a profile and you might have an instant judgment based on the numbers. Would I get rid of it?
I think it's good for maybe people who are in the industry.
Yeah.
But what about the average consumer? Just a person who just loves music, that just listens to music, but doesn't create, they're not in the industry like that.
Yeah. God, man, that's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think people will have those instant judgments. But then it's just going to be split. Like some people will like to see it and be like, yeah, this is my artist now. It's good to see like his numbers rise and things like that. But then you'll get other people who might not take things seriously just because it's got low numbers.
Yeah.
But I don't think it shows the stream, like the numbers for every single song, does it? It's just like the top tracks.
No, I think if you're on desktop, you'll see everyone. You will see all the numbers, but you have to click into it.
Oh, okay. Right,
it will show the top 10, but if you go into the album, it will show you all the streams in the album.
Right, yeah, you're right. I'm just on it now. Let me have a look. You know what? It's because I recently switched over from Apple Music to Spotify.
Oh, yeah?
I was on Apple Music for years, and then I felt left out. I had FOMO because everyone uses Spotify, and I did like to see certain numbers. It just seemed like way more is just happening on Spotify. Although I don't know if I like the layout compared to Apple Music. Apple Music just seemed a lot simpler, where maybe it's just because I've tried to copy over all my music from Apple Music and it hasn't done it right. But say for example, I've got...
There's no numbers in Apple, right?
Nah, no numbers in Apple. And the layout just seemed simple. It's just like you go to your artists, your songs, you've got like your recently saved ones. But on Spotify, for some reason, I've got like everything in just like one playlist for liked songs. And then if I go to like albums and artists, for example, it doesn't have... I've only got like 5 people in there when I've got like a whole library of songs that I've liked. Do you know what I mean? Do you get that on yours?
No, I've been using Spotify for quite a while now.
Okay.
I stopped using Apple Music in like 2019.
Was that for the same reason? FOMO.
Nah, you know what it was? My ex used to use Spotify and I used to use Apple. And I just used her Spotify once and I kind of liked how I was able to just find songs that I haven't listened to in a very long time. I like the discoverability. Like I would click into one artist, see all the other ones who people listen to, click into that, and just keep going along this spider web. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I've definitely found new artists like that. But is there a way to turn that off sometimes? Because sometimes I just want to like, I'll find a song that I want to listen to, and then I want the next song to just be something in my library. Because sometimes you're not in the mood for like just some random stuff. Like, so you'll click on a song and then all of a sudden, oh, you can.
I think, but you can turn off autoplay, where you listen to your playlist and then it stops when the playlist is finished.
Right.
Instead of recommending you new music.
It's good. Yeah, I can't lie. It's good for some things like that. You do find some like, because you'll be driving, you'll be listening to music, and then you'll hear songs and you'll think, oh, this is a banger, and then you didn't realize it's not even in your library and it's just some random thing that it's recommended you.
Yeah,
so it's good for that.
Yeah, I do like Spotify's functionality and stuff, but to be honest, like I've never tried, like Tidal or is it Deezer that people use as well. Yeah, I've never tried anything
like that.
So I don't know how it compares.
Because I pay for YouTube Premium now. You get YouTube Music with it, don't you? So I tried to have a look at that. And that's good for some stuff. So the reason I liked Apple Music was because I had all old mixtapes from stuff I used to listen to like years ago. So you remember like the DatPiff days? I had so many mixtapes from DatPiff that aren't actually released on Apple Music and everything. But years ago, you used to have to like download the music and then bring it into iTunes and then sync it up
Yeah.
with your library. You remember that? That was
Yeah, I
long.
had an iPod full of
Yeah.
that Piff mixtapes.
Yeah, but then when you had Apple Music, you could blend that library in with your normal library.
Hmm.
So I loved it because I had all my old mixtapes and stuff on there. And then when you move over to Spotify, obviously all those mixtapes aren't there. But on YouTube Music basically just has everything because loads of those mixtapes are just on YouTube. So YouTube Music's actually alright because you get all the normal music that's on streaming platforms, but then you get the whole YouTube library as well. So there's
Okay.
just way more music there. But I only
Yeah.
used it to like go back to certain mixtapes. I haven't been using it as my main thing.
I haven't checked out YouTube Music before, but I did notice on YouTube it seems to be a good way to discover new music as well, like through music videos.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've clicked on a few, and then naturally YouTube just starts recommending you more and more. To be
Mm.
fair, like there were artists I've never heard of, and it was good. I didn't realize that
Becau-
people were getting found that way, but it makes complete sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because you're making this style of music now, are you listening to a lot of people that make similar music? Like, what do you find yourself listening to these days?
Honestly, everything now. Remember,
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember, like earlier in the year, I was like, oh man, I'm not really listening to anything right now. I'm just trying to
yeah,
not. But now, I've kind of reversed now again, where I'm just taking in everything. Like I do like to listen to techno and that kind of
mm-hmm,
vibe, but then also I just like to listen to, just random songs, man. Honestly, pop,
yeah,
rock, whatever I'm feeling, I'll just listen to it. If you look at my liked list on Spotify, everything is all over the place. There isn't a theme. There might be like 3 tracks in a row that are techno, then 5 tracks in a row that are like some random flamenco, then two. It's just really all over the place. I just like to listen to everything
yeah.
and still
And is that
discover
just
new
from?
artists.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how are you discovering all this different music? Because if you're listening to like rap, for
Hmm.
example, usually it just recommends you rap, doesn't it?
Yeah,
But how are you going from rap to flamenco to rock?
all over the place. I think sometimes TikTok, I find music through TikTok. A couple
Right.
of times where I've scrolled and I'm like, whoa, what's this song? This sounds incredible.
Mm.
YouTube, I do on my homepage, I get recommended music videos from smaller artists, like people who only get maybe 10K views, 5K
Yeah.
views, sometimes even like under a K. Not so much through Instagram, but I don't really look at reels. It's only what pops up.
Yeah.
Um, Out and about, DJ mixes, SoundCloud as well. I find a lot of music on SoundCloud,
Mm.
and then of course Spotify.
Yeah, it makes sense. I can't lie, I've been still listening to like rap more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still like maybe 85% rap and then 15% other genres. But I
Yeah,
found myself like getting a bit tired of it recently, where I haven't heard anything fully fresh in a while. And I'm sure it's out there. I just haven't discovered it yet. So like, and I don't know if it's just because we make music like during the day that I don't listen to it as much after. But sometimes, like, I remember like a few years ago, I just have music on like constantly in the car,
yeah,
at the gym constantly. But sometimes when I get to the gym now, I'm like, I can't even be bothered like looking for music because there's nothing that I'm really dying to listen to right now.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hear that. Sometimes it gets like that.
And then same in the car as well. I'd be like, I'm just throwing on a podcast because I can't be bothered listening to music. But I don't know
Yeah,
if that's just because I haven't discovered anything like fully new in a while where I'm like just really immersed in it.
yeah. I think sometimes it does get like that, especially because like music now, it's in a weird place because it is competing with podcasts and
Yeah,
clips and all these kind of things as well. But I do think there is good music out there, but
definitely.
sometimes it just doesn't get found.
Yeah, that's
A
the
lot of
thing. Like I
music,
know it's out
it's
there.
just luck that it landed on my homepage or whatever that day.
Yeah, they thought that you'd like it, and you did.
Mm,
It's like how the algorithm should work, basically. It's how they're hoping it works. Who's
yeah,
someone that
but
you found recently who's just kind of blown your mind, where you've been like,
tons of
man, I
people,
need to go
honestly,
find this
man.
person. Really?
Um, Yeah, I'm gonna go through my liked list now. I really like Cash Cobain. He even though like he's quite big
Mm,
right now, but I do like his
yeah.
stuff. I found this woman called Caroline Polachek. Have you ever heard of this chick? She's big,
Nah.
but
Caroline.
her music is banging. I just, how did I discover her? Oh,
Never heard of it.
okay. Do you remember Dido?
Yeah, of course.
So I think I was like going through Dido's discography, then I found that she was on a feature with this Caroline Polachek. So I was like, oh, I never heard of this chick. Who's that? Clicked her music and I'm like, damn, liked everything. Got that in my like list now. Um, DJ called DJ Planet Express. How did I hear his song? I heard it in a DJ mix and I was like, oh shit, what's that? Couldn't find the song
Right.
anywhere. Then someone just randomly posted it on their Instagram story. I was like, ah, that's what it's called. And then gone to his music.
Mm.
This guy called Len, he's from the UK, but his music is kind of like, it's like a Afrobeats inspiration, but also kind of trappy, like underground
Right.
trappy. It's different, very, very different. This underground chick called Molly Santana.
And you've been finding
Bro,
some
I've
random
been
stuff, haven't you?
and a lot of these people don't even have tons of like tons of streams.
Yeah. I'm just Molly Santana as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to check out some of these. Yeah, there's been no one that I've like, or maybe there has. Let me see what I've been saving recently. The last song that made me, it's been out for like a while now, but the last song that really made me like stop and be like, what is this? This is crazy. Was that Yame? Have you heard of
What's
him?
that? Yame.
Um, yeah, French guy. Yame.
Oh, I think you showed me him before.
Yeah, he had that song, I think it's called Becane, Becane.
Hmm.
He was on Colors. I seen him on Colors, and then when I heard that, I was like, yo, this is crazy. I've never heard anything like it. But
Yeah.
apart from him, I haven't seen anything that's like fully blown my mind in a while. Sometimes you do scroll on TikTok and you stop and it's like, this sounds sick. Let me check this out. But it's very rare that something just really captures you because there's so much these days.
Yeah,
There's so
there
much
is.
music to get through. It's so hard to
And
cut through the noise.
it's also like all over the place.
Yeah,
You know, like before, I think there is scenes definitely, but before, like the SoundCloud rap era, that had like a certain sound and there was so many people like blowing up from it. But I feel like everyone
yeah.
is kind of like super niche down.
Mm,
Like you go to this guy to listen to some Afro mixed with trap. You go to this guy to listen to, I don't know, trap mixed with Bulgarian sounds. Like it seems very. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
yeah, you definitely get those niches, but then you also get a lot of people who are just trying to keep up with trends as well.
Hmm.
That you get a mix. And I was about to say then, so even though there's only like some songs that really stick out to me, I've also noticed as well, and this is why I'm more for just putting out as much like content as possible, like to pushing music. So there's been certain songs where I've heard it the first time on TikTok and been like, oh, that sounds alright, and then you scroll past. The next day you see it again. It's like, oh yeah, I heard this. It sounds cool. Boom. And by like the fifth time, you're like, this song's actually sick. Let me go check this out on Spotify. And I've
Yeah.
noticed like it's like the marketing thing, isn't it? It takes like a certain amount of points to make you. What's the word? The number changes all the time. Like it used to be
Used to
like
be
five
seven.
touch
Now it's
points
more.
before you can buy, yeah, and there's seven, and then something else. But it's the same with music as well, where it's like if you just release a single and then you've just got one day where you just push this out now video. Like some people see it and then they just forget about it. But if you're pushing it every day, even just little snippets in different locations, you'll get people like me who see it the first day, scroll past, second day, boom, boom, boom. By like the fifth, sixth day, it's like I'm actually feeling this, and it
Yeah.
isn't something that isn't like some music that fully blew my mind where I was like I had to check it out as soon as I saw it, but because I heard it so much, it was almost forced down my throat. So then I want to go check it out.
Yeah. And I was gonna add to that. It's very rare that you hear a song one time and rush to go find it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Yeah.
only it only happens every now and again. It does happen for me more recently than before. But like before, I could count on my hand how many times I heard a song and was like, "Oh my days, what the hell is this song? I need to find it right now."
And maybe that's just because you're a creative as well, because you're a
Mm,
producer and you're interested in new sounds. But for most people, they're not really tapping into it that deep. So
yeah.
that could be a thing as well.
I found this guy. I recommend checking him out because his style is very. It almost seems like it's a joke, but it's not. I think he's sick. His name's Jimothy Lacoste. A couple of years ago, he had a few massive songs, but now it's not as massive as before. But
Timothy
it's like so.
McCost.
He seems unserious, but I think he is serious, and it just sounds sick in my opinion.
What's Jimothy McCost?
Jimothy Lacoste.
Oh, Jimothy Lacoste. Okay, I'll check it out.
I think it's
Oh, you
super
even
fun
just like
stumbling on
previewing
like
the video. It looks random.
yeah, so random, right? So very DIY.
Yeah, he's in like a dad shirt in the video.
But I think it's quite fun just discovering new music. It's kind of like when you hear old people talk about going to the record store and trying to find records and CDs and all these kind of stuff.
Mm.
We don't really have that anymore.
I've got one for
Spotify
you
is
to
probably
check
the
out
closest to
actually.
it.
Yeah. Oh shit! I was just I didn't know he'd done this many views. So just for those examples of like random people, have you
Hmm.
ever heard of someone called Spooky Black?
Spooky Black.
I don't even know if
Mm.
he's put out music in a long time, but it's one of those ones where if you listen to it, you'd never picture the person who's singing it. Let me send you a link. Yeah, a guy called Spooky Black. I'm just seeing his channel because I don't know if he's uploaded anything in like a long time. But this was like a while back. Someone showed me him. Like someone told me to listen to it first, and it sounded sick. And then when I saw his face and like saw him in the video, you know, and it just doesn't line up.
Yeah.
But he's sick. And this was 10 years ago. He put out this song. I don't even know if he's
Okay.
released
Yeah.
any music since then.
I'm seeing it now. I think he's changed his name.
Who's Spooky Black?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gabe Broderick. So Without You, that song's sick. It's done 13 million views. That's crazy. But he's one that you might like.
Hmm.
Just like a different vibe. And this is like an old one as well. This
Yeah.
I can't remember his other one. But it's just the vibe's so different. It's very like extremely low budget. You could tell it's just recorded on like some camcorder or something.
Hmm.
Nothing to it. And like on his channel, it's like a bunch of skate videos, and then randomly this song that's done like 13 million views.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And 13 million 10 years ago is like 130 mil, you know?
Yeah. But I don't think it was doing those numbers back then. I think just
Mm.
over time, like I don't know, just fell into people's algorithms like mine, where I'm like, I don't know, just some random thing that you come across,
Mhm.
and then people spread the word.
Yeah. I think as well, just going back to the catalog thing, that's really what kind of keeps you as alive as an artist for a long time. Something I've been thinking
Yeah.
about recently is just longevity of things.
Mm.
So how can we make sure that in 30 years, like we're still good from music? And I think
Yeah.
catalog is probably like the one thing, not the one thing, but one of the most important things that will get you there.
I think so. I think so as well. Yeah. What I struggle with though is deciding what my catalog's gonna be, because sometimes I look at the stuff I've got out there, and it's all a bit random. Like I've got a bunch of drill beats on there, couple old singles from when I used to rap, some stuff with like Geo. Then if I put stuff out with artists, because that's the other thing. If you like release music with artists as well, and then you're trying to build up a Spotify where you've got instrumentals and stuff with artists, it's kind of hard for people to see what's an instrumental and what's an actual song. You know what I mean?
True.
Because if you go into my Spotify, it's like, how do you know which song's which? So sometimes I get a bit confused about how I want my catalog to look.
Yeah. Maybe you could organize it into EPs. So maybe you release 3 instrumentals in a row, and then on the 4th one, you just have those last 4 all together as an EP. And then the next
Yeah, I
ones,
guess so.
maybe you
Kind of group them
you
together
just
then.
kind of, yeah. Maybe just like you don't do instrumentals, instrumental, non-instrumental, instrumental, non-instrumental.
Yeah.
Maybe just like
Yeah.
a period of time doing one thing.
That's a good point. Might have to try that. I wonder how Kyle's doing with his as well, because he had the Kyle Beats Collective. So I was just
Yeah,
gonna say, like, some people will do like one profile for instrumentals and then a whole separate one for
true.
working with artists. So on that Kyle Beats Collective, it's got 210,000 monthly listeners. Some tracks are like 4 million, 2 million, 4
Yeah.
million, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, he smashed it with those.
So that could be another option. But then if you're creating a second profile, it's just like, it's hard enough trying to build up one. Never mind trying to do 2 separate ones. How do you feel
Garmy does
about,
that?
because I guess
Garmy's got
this
2.
sort of relates to catalogs, but have you ever seen when artists will just randomly delete everything from their profile and then start fresh because they're dropping a new project?
Yeah,
How do you feel about that?
I get it because it stops the it puts all the attention on now the new posts, and you can always come back and unarchive it.
I guess, yeah. I always just thought it's kind of ruining people finding your other stuff as well. Like, say, for example,
Yeah,
you just making like 1 or 2 new posts, and then sometimes I'll come across artists on Instagram and I'll hear something, I'll be like, oh, let me check out the profile, see if they've got any other music, and then you kind of scroll down and check out some of the other snippets. But then if someone's deleted everything, it's hard to become a fan just from like one piece of music. You're gonna want to see the catalog, don't you? That's why I always thought it's not the best move.
yeah. I guess it depends on artist to artist, doesn't it? Like some people just
Yeah,
have that allure where
yeah. I
it kind of
think obviously
works,
some
but
people
I
feel
don't
like
think
they
it'll work
need
for
to just
everyone.
have a full rebrand.
Hmm.
Yeah. I guess it's the same thing that we always say, and it's like there's no just set system that's gonna work for everyone. We've seen
Yeah,
success from people that have so many different game plans.
it'd be nice if the blueprint was there and it was just that simple, but
Yeah,
it's not that.
it would be easy because it's so, even like producer to artist, it's a bit different as well. And
Mm.
then there's loads of different ways for a producer to grow, loads of different ways for an artist to grow. But I think it does just kind of boil down to consistency, even though it's
Yeah,
like
there's
the
definitely
just a
some fundamentals
simple way to say it.
that will always work. There's fundamentals like consistency that is just important. But then again, like maybe not though. Like you can't say J Hus is consistent. You can say he's consistently making hits, which is
Yeah,
important, but you can't really say he's a consistent artist. So
that's true
like
actually.
a part of it is just figuring out maybe what you want out of the music industry and trying to make that work for you. Because I can't tell anyone like they're wrong or they're right when you
Yeah.
really think about it, because it could work. Maybe less chance of it working, but it could work. You just never know.
Mhm. Yeah, you're right. But then I wonder with people, because there's certain people like J Hus and then like Meeks, for example. Can you remember when Meeks started popping? He wasn't releasing loads of music, but he had some videos that just looked sick, that just really made you want to tune in, because no one was really doing those type of videos in the UK,
Mm.
rappers anyway. But then I don't know if like how much work they did to get to that point before, because sometimes you come across an artist and all of a sudden they blow up, and then you just assume they've come out of nowhere, but then you don't realize like how much stuff they've actually done
Yeah.
to get to that point. Like I don't think Meeks, for example, had loads of work and like projects leading up to that, but he had couple of freestyle videos just on like different channels that were doing really well, for example. So he wouldn't have been able to get the same numbers if he didn't have those type of views on those freestyle channels. And then maybe someone like Jay Huss was putting in a lot of work before like his first big project and before everyone. Because what was his first big song? Was it
Did You See was the massive one.
Yeah, yeah.
That was huge.
So then at that point, I bet a lot of people were thinking, oh, this guy's just come out of nowhere. But maybe he just was working on so many different things leading up to that point.
Yeah.
I don't really know his full backstory, but
And I think also it depends on the time period that you come from, right? Because like
yeah,
he had that hit and that's given him enough like credibility to where he can just take that big break and people will still want music from him. Like whenever he drops, people are ready. But in like
definitely.
today's age, it may be a bit harder to be able to step away for like 2 years and not drop anything and come back to the same reception.
Oh, 100%. Especially if you're somewhat new to the game as well. Like if you haven't been around for that long. Maybe someone like Drake can do that. But if you haven't built up the catalog or built up the fan base to kind of give you that, I don't know, just give you that blessing to be able to take that time off, then I don't think it can work. One person I'm excited to hear about releasing more music again is Parsaloo. I always thought he was sick.
He
He's just
came
come
out
of
with a
prison,
bang
hasn't
now.
he?
Have you seen like his TikToks and his reels and stuff just popping? I keep seeing the music pop up.
Yeah, he came out and posted that one preview where he's just like, he's just like lip syncing the video, but in the car, like hanging out the window.
Yeah.
That tune's sick as well. So I'm excited to hear more stuff from him. I think he's so unique, man. You know what? Last time I went to see him, it was the night he got arrested. So he was meant to perform at a warehouse project. So I went to see, like, Central C was performing there. I think Knox was there, a couple other people as well. And then he was on the list as well. So when I saw like his name and Central and a few other people, I was like, it's in Manchester too, perfect. So I went, but then Parsaloo just didn't like come on stage, and then obviously everyone was checking the news and stuff, and he'd just been arrested that day. So I didn't even get to see him.
I didn't even know I didn't even know where he was. I didn't know he was inside.
Yeah, he's just come out.
Crazy.
I'm actually going to a warehouse project.
Oh yeah,
in a couple of weeks. Like that last one I went to. Peggy Goo, is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Peggy Goo, and you'll know the other people. I'm not really tapped into that type of scene. I know who Peggy Goo is, obviously, but my girlfriend just got it me as a birthday present. It's my birthday next Thursday.
Nice, man.
And we were just chatting because we used to go to warehouse projects like years ago. But then I was thinking, have we still got another one in us? Like, we haven't been in time. And she was like, let's just have a look and see who's on. And then she loves Peggy Goo. So she was like, we have to go see that. So she was like, do you want me to get it? It was your birthday thing. So why not?
What date is that one?
October. It's like the first week of October. It's a boiler room as well.
Oh man, that's gonna be a vibe.
So that should be sick.
Let me see
Let me see who else is there.
Peggy Goo, DJ Heartstring, that's a good one. DJ Gigola. Yeah, I like this. This is a good lineup.
Is it? Who should we check out there? Because I don't really know a lot of the other names.
Peggy Goo's gonna be the big one. DJ Heartstring is trance music, but
okay,
I don't know if you're into that, but it's not. I don't know how to explain it. They're calling it like Gen Z trance, but it's just like an old school kind of trance feeling.
Okay.
Like a throwback kind of vibe. I personally like this guy called
hip hop night. I'm just open to anything. I'll go check out whoever.
Yeah, I personally like this guy called I don't even know how you pronounce it. Klar or Schlar.
Oh yeah, just under Jeff Mills.
Yeah, this guy is hard. He makes hard groove techno, so it's like really, really groovy.
Okay.
It's not super hard. It's just like very, very groovy.
All right, yeah, I'll go see him as well.
Yeah, it should be cool. Oh man, Rolling Loud. I don't know if I told you, Rolling Loud's coming to Thailand, and I looked at the lineup today.
For real?
The lineup is looking crazy.
Is it? Why? What is it?
So I know. Let me put it up real quick. I'm actually looking forward to this. So one day, Friday is ASAP Rocky. I'm not really bothered about Tiger, but Quavo, Tyler, Akon. I'm looking forward to that. Can't lie. Waka Flocka Flame, K Trap, Dina Ayada,
Sick.
Chow Lee.
Dean is
And
there
then-
as well.
Yeah.
Well,
And
Lil
then on
Wayne.
the Saturday,
What?
Lil Wayne, bro. Lil Wayne
That's
headlining.
crazy.
And then you got Wiz Khalifa, French Montana. And then
French Montana as well.
The other big ones are like NLE Chopper, Rich the Kid, Denzel Curry. I'm not that bothered. And then the last
Some
day,
big names there though.
Playboy Carti, Ghana, Nav, Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely. That's a massive day as well.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's actually
should
a
be
sick
sick.
lineup.
Yeah,
I take it you're going then, yeah?
bro, 100%. If nothing stops me, then yeah, 100%.
Might have to buy a quick flight to Thailand, man. When's
It'd be
that?
the best time to
22nd
come.
to the 24th of November. That would be
Yeah.
like good weather, vibes. That's when. Is it a dry season in November?
Yeah, now it's pretty much rainy season. It's coming to an end soon. So when
Right.
this comes about, it's not gonna be like hot like April, because
Okay.
I think that's why they moved it. They had it in April last year, but it was too hot, so they moved it to November, and that's meant to be like the best time.
Might have to look at flights, you know. We keep saying we'll come to Thailand.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's a perfect time. I was speaking to a couple friends. They want to
Yeah.
do like the whole VVIP thing, so we all just chip in
Oh, yeah.
and like split that between each other.
What does that get you?
Maybe like a private area or something.
Mm.
And I know a couple of them wanna. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
we could wrap up now anyway, because I think my camera's gone. It might be a sign.
cool.
All right, then. Yeah, man. Appreciate everyone for listening.
Yeah.
See you in the next one, man. Missing LLB in this one, but it should be back next week.
See you guys later.
Peace.